Hi guys, Hamster here. I'm just doing a follow-up video on the Mark 262 alternative. The alternative to the Black Hills Mark 262 Mod 1 5.56 ammunition. If you want accuracy or you want distance in the 5.56 platform, then you have to run the Mark 262 ammunition, which is 5.56, 77 grain. It has the Sierra Match King OTM projectile. And the only one manufacturing that, and I believe who developed that, is Black Hills. And the ammunition is extremely effective. It's very accurate. It's got real high quality control. It's factory match grade ammunition. But when it's out of stock, you have no alternative. You need that 77 grain Sierra Match King at that velocity to reach the distances and have the tight tolerances for the accuracy that most guys are looking for. So the Black Hills was the gold standard, and now we have an alternative. So we have some competition. We have a second choice from a company called Right to Bear Ammo. They're making their version of the Mark 262. They're using the same basically blended propellant. They're using the same Lake City brass, same primer, same Sierra Match King 77 grain projectile. I had a chance to go out and test this and see if it is going to be as good as what they said it is. So I went out the other day and I shot 50 rounds of each ammunition to compare. And I got some velocity readings and I got some data points. Okay, this isn't scientific. This is one regular guy on one average day. So just, bear in mind, this isn't perfect, but at least I'm giving you some information so you have some more information to go when you buy some ammunition. The Black Hills advertises 2750 on velocity, and the Right to Bear also advertises 2750. Now I presume to get to 2750 you will probably need an 18-inch barrel to take maximum advantage of the velocity. But I know a lot of guys are running 16-inch barrels. So for this test, I used a stainless 16-inch barrel because I thought it would be the closest what most guys have. The barrel also is a 1 in 8 twist. So I did a sample of Black Hills and Right to Bear. I did a 10-shot string of the Black Hills and the Right to Bear. Off the get-go, the Black Hills seemed to have a little higher velocity. The Right to Bear had slightly less velocity, but much more consistent. The extreme spread on the Black Hills was 56 feet per second. The extreme spread on the Right to Bear was only 22. I thought that was really good. Average velocity on the Black Hills was 27.45. Average velocity on the Right to Bear was 27.26. Now remember, this is a 16-inch barrel. So with an 18-inch, you will be getting full advantage of what velocity is capable. Standard deviation on the Black Hills seemed closer to about 20 feet per second, where with the Right to Bear only had about a 10 feet per second standard deviation. The Black Hills had the lowest spread, but or I should say the Right to Bear had the lowest spread, and Black Hills had a slightly faster velocity. It averaged 19 feet per second faster than the Right to Bear. So my average for the Right to Bear was 27.26. On the Black Hills I got 27.45. Both of them are advertised as 27.50. Now this is with a 16-inch stainless barrel 1 in 8 twist. So I was extremely happy with it. The rifle, like I said, I shot 50 rounds of each ammunition. I chronographed 10 rounds of each ammunition. So this is a small sample on one day. The difference is not that big a difference, I don't think. To me, it's about the same as the difference from lot to lot on the Black Hills. It's not that big a difference. 19 feet per second, I don't know if it's that bad. The rifle was zeroed with Black Hills ammunition at 100 yards. So that was zeroed. Point of aim, point of impact was right on 100 yards with the Black Hills. I fired 3-round groups of Black Hills, fired 3-round groups of Right to Bear. There was no point of impact shift. Point of aim, point of impact was still the same. Both of these were capable of 1 MOA groups and also up to half MOA groups. The Right to Bear seemed just as accurate. I was just as consistent, I should say, with the Black Hills as I was the right to bear. Sometimes I would do good, sometimes I'd do poor. That was me. It had nothing to do with the ammunition and the equipment. Any deviation is probably, I'm sure it's human error. So I could not really see any difference in shooting it. I had no trouble. The ammunition cycled perfectly well. It ejected fine. I checked the primers. I saw no signs of overpressure. So the ammunition seems good to go. Accuracy was extremely good. The chronograph I used, in case anybody's interested, this was the chronograph I used. Don't know if it's the world's best chronograph. It gave me some data points, so in case you're interested, this was the chronograph. Like I said, this was out of a 16-inch barrel. There were quite a few times I would fire a 3-round group of Black Hills and then followed up with 3 rounds of right to bear, and they would virtually stack in the same hole. Just to give you an example of what this thing could do, both of these animals did groups exactly the same. This is one of the worst case groups, and this is still a 1-inch group. This is a 1 MOA group. So both of them I would do 1 MOA group sometimes. This is obviously me. This is not the rifle, not the ammunition. This is me. But I'm no guy special, so if I can do this and you guys are capable of doing the same thing also, and when I did everything correct and was doing it right, then the groups look more like this. This is a half inch group, so this is a half MOA group. So that's a half MOA group, and that's a 1 MOA group right here. And people are gonna, I know some of you guys are gonna go, why are you shooting up there? Why aren't you shooting at the center of the target? I found for accuracy, for trying to be precise and making adjustments, if I have a target that has square corners, at 100 yards, it's a lot easier to see this point, see exactly where that point is. So I was aiming right at this point where the blue and the white meet, right on the tip. So in each case, I was aiming roughly right here. So point of aim was here, point of impact was there. You know, this here was point of aim, and this was obviously point of impact. So, but I find if you have a hard edge, a corner, you're going to be much more accurate than aiming at the center, because it's really tough to see if your crosshair is exactly perfectly in the center, because you can't really see much of this. So if you pick a corner, and then you work on a sharp corner instead of a circle, or you work at the bottom of the circle. A lot of times I'll shoot like for the bottom of the circle here. Like you can see here, I was shooting right for the bottom of the white target here. And I put a ton of rounds all day long, and didn't take much tape. And this is all Black Hills and right to bear, basically stacking on top of each other. So, but if you want to get accurate, don't aim for the center. Pick a corner and work on a corner. It's a lot easier to see that corner. But both the ammunition is capable of 1 MOA and actually sub MOA, and this group here was actually a right to bear group, and where this one here was actually a Black Hills group. But both of them performed vice versa groups that looked almost identical to that all day long. So they were right in that ballpark between half MOA and 1 MOA. So this was off a bipod. Like I said, I'm nobody special, so if you guys use this ammunition, you guys are quite capable of doing the exact same thing as I'm doing. But that's the Black Hills Mark 262, and now we have a 262 equivalent from right to bear ammo. So there's another quick look at the velocities, the extreme spread, the average spread, standard deviation. So if you guys are interested into the right to bear ammo, the Mark 262 equivalent, I would suggest you get online and order some now, because that's what I'm going to do. So if you get there and there's none left, you know where it went. So thanks for watching.